guys, so it's time for another sketchbook review. Last month we ended with this one right here, and so I'm just gonna get started and start talking about some of these sketches. This sketch was an idea I had for a project based around animals. I wanted to sketch out some ideas, and this was kind of one of the ideas I had of like a landscape with like an elk. So here are some character concepts that I did. I really like this guy, very unique, different from what I normally do. And with these guys, I was just kind of trying to draw some different shapes. You can see like here's like an oval, a perfect circle on this guy's head. And when I do that, I feel like it forces me to work with different shapes rather than sticking with kind of shapes that I'm familiar with as far as human faces and stuff. So normally when I come up with cool, creative guys like this, it's when I'm just drawing shapes and I turn them into stuff. So this was a little sketch that I decided to do for the book, just because I was thinking about the book and I just wanted to draw something. So this is Elena, what she might look like. You can see she's got the striped tights and stuff like that. So this was a sketch where you guys saw the sugar skull sketch I did. It was a long time ago. I actually did a video on it, and I really like these. I think they're fun to do. I love doing the detail on the faces and stuff like that, and I just felt like drawing something I hadn't drawn in a while. And it's always fun to come back to something you've drawn before. Obviously the face is completely different, but I was just kind of messing around, and this is kind of what I came up with. I actually like this one a lot better than I like the other one. I feel like the face is just a little bit more intriguing. Yeah, it's kind of a fun little drawing. So this is kind of a funny little sketch. I don't do these sketches very often. Basically I was sitting at lunch one day on a picnic bench at Subway, and there's a little park. And obviously this sketch isn't much to look at. I sat down and just started scribbling and the trees that were in front of me, and not really drawing for any other reason than to just draw what was in front of me. I wasn't trying to accomplish anything with this thing. I was just kind of mindlessly sketching what I saw in front of me. So this is kind of a cool little drawing. I don't know why I drew this that day, but I wanted to come up with kind of a cool concept for a character, and I had, I think I was looking at pictures of monkeys on Pinterest. So I started drawing this monkey, and I started thinking of Planet of the Apes. Maybe I saw a Planet of the Apes ad somewhere or something. I don't know what inspired this one, but I just decided to draw kind of a futuristic ape man type thing. And actually I was looking at baboons, that's what it was. And I started drawing this guy, and I really like the way this one turned out. He's got really good form. Just the way his body is proportioned and stuff, I feel like is unique. I love the exaggerated arms on him. But I felt like this was a strong sketch for me. I did the full face here just because I liked him so much. I felt like I really wanted to see kind of his face up close and stuff. So this is one of the more successful drawings I think I've done in a long time. I really liked this one. I referenced, I think I typed in unique faces on Pinterest. So I referenced a picture for this one. Obviously I changed it, but I feel like I captured the face really well. I love the lighting. It's just a very natural drawing in the face, and then you add this kind of high-tech thing in the back that I think looks pretty cool. So this one's kind of same deal as the last one, but definitely didn't turn out as good. The face, the personality in the face is just not very inviting, and not very, just very robotic, I guess. And he's not supposed to be a robot. There's just not a whole lot of emotion or personality in this one. It's just kind of bland. It's an okay drawing, but and I didn't really feel like this stuff was very creative. I do stuff like that all the time, so I feel like with this one back here, this was very unique for me, and I really liked how the design turned out. This one's just kind of generic. So every now and again, I feel like just drawing whatever pops into my head, totally random, and thinking of stupid things that don't make any sense at all, and putting them together and just drawing. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to draw first thing that pops into my head. And that's what I did with this guy. I started making shapes, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just do eyes. So I started drawing all these weird eye things, and I give him a body and put eye on his stomach. And then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do one leg with a roller skate for some reason. And this isn't very creative. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, that's so creative. How do you think of that? This is actually the least creative type of drawing I do. I feel like it's much harder to come up with believable fantasy than it is to come up with stuff that's just off the wall. I can come up with off the wall stuff, no problem. I can just think of random stuff that pops into my head and draw it. I mean, he's got a fish arm. Why does he have a fish arm? I don't know. It's just something that popped into my head and I just put it down. So this is a cool drawing. I feel like this has a style to it that I don't do very often, and I've tried to do it more, where it has a nice reduced value, I guess. There's no detail in these gears in his face. They're just very, I did like an even tone through all of it. I didn't bother shading it, and then I had darks in the shadowy area, and then I paid a lot of attention to shading these like very frontal pieces of his faceplate, and then parts in here a little bit. But I feel like it gives the drawing a focal point. You know what's in the foreground, and all these gears and stuff are kind of pushed in the background. And I feel like if you give all that stuff equal detail and equal shading, then it becomes more of a mess. You don't know where to look. So somebody I was following on Instagram talked about how early on in their art career, and I really look up to this person, they have amazing artwork, they never really paid too much attention to unique lighting. And so with this drawing, I didn't really care about the drawing a whole lot. I was just kind of looking at how, I was looking at a picture on Pinterest and how the lighting was kind of hitting the person's face, and where you have light, kind of reflective light, and how it bounced off different areas of the face and how it's unique. Normally I wouldn't do this. Like, this is kind of, you've got a really strong light source like hitting right here, and then you have the kind of reflected light. Now this light would be lighter than this, or darker than this. It wouldn't be as bright as this light, but you're getting light from two different directions. And when I draw, I don't know if you guys notice, but I generally take like just a light source coming from over here, and it's a real generic way of shading, and I really want to work on doing more of a realistic approach when it comes to lighting. So this drawing just was a character concept. I started drawing a face, and I thought, I don't know why, but I thought, hey, this kind of looks like Mother Nature. So I had a tree kind of growing out of her head, and then I feel like this face is kind of a unique face. It's she's not pretty, and she's kind of wild looking. I like the freckles that I added. I've never done that before, just as kind of a texture to the face. The thing I don't like about this one is this eye is just something about it's wrong. I think it's too oval, and it shouldn't be so big compared to this eye. Because this eye should be foreshortened, but it shouldn't be that small compared to that one. This was another character concept. I like this one because the face shape is very different than what I normally do. Again, this was one of those drawings where I just started drawing a shape and then kind of looked and saw what it was going to turn into. Somebody said this looks like Bill Nye the Science Guy, which I totally think it does too. It's got a long face, the long pointy nose kind of thing, and I think the eyes, I don't know where they got that, but I laughed because I said, yeah, it kind of does. But little details about this one, like the mushrooms on his neck, the moss and the flowers kind of growing off his old bark, and just how he looks old and the wood looks old that his face is kind of made out of. I like the form on the arms and stuff like that. Just, it was a good little successful drawing. I like the character. I could definitely see myself putting this guy in the book. So I hope she doesn't mind me showing this one, but basically I was trying to think of something to draw one day, and I thought, hey, I'll just pick the person that left a comment last on my last daily sketch post, and I'll draw a picture from her Instagrams. So she had a picture of her wearing some glasses, and it's kind of an interesting angle, and it had good lighting. That's what I look for when I'm doing pictures of people, but so it's easier to see them. And and this one had a lot of contrast. So I just started drawing her, and that's what I did for my daily sketch that day. I just drew a picture from my phone at lunch one day, and I liked the way it turned out. So this is the most recent daily sketch I did. I did this the other day, and I was just doing some character concepts, again, with the shapes. So like with this drawing, or this guy right here, I just did this weird kind of shape like this, and I did some shapes in the back, and that's what he turned into, kind of some kind of weird walrus guy. It's kind of fun. I really like doing these, and they don't take a lot of brain power. I just start drawing and seeing what it turns into. Stuff like this where it's totally random, where I have no idea where I'm going with it until it starts to take shape. I really like doing this, but I feel like, again, I just don't feel like this is as creative as when I'm doing something where I have a definite plan and I have to hit the mark. When I have an idea for a character and I want them to be as realistic and tangible as I possibly can get them, and I have to hit a mark. Those are the hardest ones I feel like to be creative with.
So I kind of thought it'd be cool to do one of those shape drawings where I just kind of make up a shape and see where it takes me. This is exactly how I did those other drawings. I just kind of start off with an odd shape and go from there. So after I kind of get the initial shape, then I just kind of feel where things should go. And I look at the shape and what kind of nose might go with it. This is pretty interesting. I don't do mandibles very often, and the circle at the top, kind of like a round orb on the top of his head. I don't know why I put that there. A lot of this stuff is completely random and just a way to come up with creative, interesting characters. So for some reason with this guy, I was like, I didn't want to do a normal neck. I wanted some kind of, I don't know what they are, just connectors connecting to his shoulder and maybe his back. I thought it would just be an interesting little touch to him. But kind of liked how it turned out. Almost like tree roots coming from the back of his head. This guy's interesting. He's not my favorite character ever, but not all of them are. But I like the way he turned out. Well, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna, like I said, be doing one of these sketchbook videos at the end of every month. So look out for them, and talk to you later.